Friday Night Rugby, National Collegiate Rugby, brings you the best in college rugby from around the country. A Division III matchup with a lot on the line tonight as the Crusaders of Holy Cross come down from Worcester, Massachusetts to take on the Friars of Providence College. I am John Broker, joined by the contact coach, Craig Wilson, for this one. Fabulous matchup. A bit on the line here we'll talk about. What a night for rugby.
Absolutely. One of the great nights in New England. Providence is going to put on the show, and these two teams are going to go at it.
We are going to take a look at the visitors first, Holy Cross. They have come down looking for a win. National runners-up last year, a loss to Wayne State. Very proud program. Lost a couple of key players, but they're 4-1. 174 points for, 71 against. I'll bring that back up in just a second. But they're having a good season here, our Holy Cross. Playoff places on the line. Last 5 matchups you can see here. Tufts beat Colby, lost to Nichols, and then a win over the always tough Middlebury, as well as Thomas. Craig, this is a very good team. They have some key players and some things to watch out for.
As you mentioned there, John, this is a strong team. But number 7, Connor Bancuti, he is going to be really important for them. As flanker, he's going to be trying to disrupt rucks. He's going to be carrying the ball. A very, very key player for Holy Cross. And then as we move into the centers, John Cox, he's a big fella. He was actually prop last year, now transitioned to number 13. Look at him busting holes in the midfield.
Cox will play wherever you need him. Coaching this Holy Cross team is Brendan Wimberly. You can see him there, just locked in, joined by James Hughes, taking this program to great places. And we'll take a look at the Providence College Friars, the home team here. They are a team on the rise. They are 3-2, 144 points for, but 142 against. So similar for these teams at how much they've scored, but they've let in more points. So we'll see if this Providence defense can make a difference today against Holy Cross. As for their last 5 matches, they have also only lost to Nichols. They lost to Colby as well, pardon me. Middlebury, Thomas College, Tufts as wins, and then Nichols and Colby were the losses there earlier in the season. So they have a lot to play for, does this Providence team. Also stacked with very good players, Craig.
Yeah, but when we're looking about key players for this Providence team, up front, number 3, Patrick Minahane, he's going to be so important for them. He's a big, strong man. He's going to try and get ascendancy in the scrum to give his team a go forward. And then, much like Holy Cross, we're going to move to number 13. This is going to be a great matchup. We've got Kevin Kirkland. He's a strong ball carrier. He's an excellent defender. And he's going to be really key to Providence success.
Kevin, a former West Hartford Blackheart, now playing at Providence College. This Providence College side is coached by a man with plenty of experience. Mark Simpson Daniel played professionally in England. He's joined by Brian Goodridge, and the other assistant coach is David Ainsley. We're going to take a look at your lineups for both of these teams, about to get set for this big battle. First, we'll take a look at Providence, the home team. Front row is Lambert, Contos, and Minahane. Tressler and Fortuna. In the second row, O'Sullivan and DeFusco on the flanks, and Carno holding it down in the back. At number 9, keeping things moving, is Danny Tack to Emmett Derby, number 10. Centers are Ronan and Kirkland, as we spoke about. Wings are Rogan and McGrath. Reinhardt at the fullback. For the Holy Cross Crusaders, Kapachi, Dalton, and Swords in the front row. Tierney and Henry Timniak in the second row. Murphy and Bancuti on the flankers. And Travis at the number 8. Number 9 for Holy Cross, Lynch, Long at 10. Shuck and Cox in the centers. Quisbert and Bragiolo in the 11 and 14 jerseys. And at the back is Espinal.
I can only imagine what they're saying right now.
Your referee for this contest tonight is going to be that man
White
right
captain.
there, Jeff Tancredi. Well respected, developing as a referee nationally. You are going to see the Providence Friars get us underway here to kick off in their black jerseys. In the white with the purple will be Holy Cross. Holy Cross, first touch of the ball. They're going to kick that one away through Connor Long. Long's going to put it in the touch, so first attacking opportunity will be for this Providence Friars team just outside the 22 of the Crusaders.
Yeah, excellent start from Providence. They got field position with that kick. That forced Holy Cross to kick deep from their own half. And as you can see here, what a wonderful position for Providence to launch their attack deep in the Holy Cross half.
First attack to Providence. Ball up, down into the hands of DeFusco. DeFusco passes that one on, but big hit coming in there from the Crusaders. Ball's down, Danny Tack gets away. Emmett Derby, ball in hand, wraps around. Little pass doesn't quite go to hand there. Eventually it comes down. The referee says knock forward. Jeff Tancredi. We're in the first scrum here to Holy Cross. Nervous start for the Friars.
I'll tell you what, Johnny, listen to that crowd. They are up for it. There's an excellent atmosphere here. But Holy Cross, they matched all of that with this defense. Look at that line speed. They're putting instant pressure on. Try to go over the top with that pass. That was snaffled up. It was just a knock on. Good defense there from Holy Cross.
Yeah, Kirkland's running that inline. They were just passing to somebody who wasn't quite there. This will be a good start to a battle. Both forward-orientated teams. Very strong in these set pieces. This is fascinating tight. So we see Dylan Lynch set to put this one in, the senior at the Fordham Prep. Referee Tancredi doesn't go for a warning, goes straight to the whistle against the Crusaders. So penalty here for the Friars.
Yeah, looks like they weren't driving straight there. Gives an excellent opportunity for Providence to get a bit of field position, see if they can get a bit more going than they had last time.
Emmett Derby, the Fairfield Prep grad, puts that one downfield. They get some good field position as we take another look.
Yeah, really clear picture there. You can see the loose head for Holy Cross. He just was coming in at the wrong angle, off his feet. Easy decision for the referee.
Ball up and down there. It's into the hands of the Friars. Driving forward inside the 22. Go Providence. They have players standing up there that Clyde Lambert wants this one, but it goes in behind. Little sneak back in from Ronan O'Sullivan. Tancredi sees another knock-on, so we have a scrum here for Holy Cross.
Some really good pressure here from the Holy Cross defense. They're up for it. They haven't had much of an opportunity with the ball in hand, but they're getting off the line. They're marking out their Providence runners. They're getting off and making some good hits. You can see that solid ruck defense there. And when they cut in, yeah, offside there, accidental offside. So just a scrum, but really nice defense there from Holy Cross.
Ball to come back in from Dylan Lynch. Referee just take a little time here, making sure this comes together safely. Wants a good matchup here. Penalty this time against Providence at the scrum. 2 penalties out of 2 scrums here. These teams are going to need to sort this out.
Yeah, this time for Providence, it was number 1, Clyde Lambert. He's the one who got the referee against him for not driving straight on the other side of the scrum. So already these 2 scrums, it's been a bit of a lottery. Both teams have just got to get settled, drive straight, as we look at this really engaged crowd here in Providence.
Crisp evening here in Providence, Rhode Island. It's been a beautiful fall in this part of the world. Players probably happy it's a little cooler than it has been. Playing some of their games in summer-like weather in October can be unusual as Holy Cross goes to the back. Ball comes down there to Lynch. Lynch moves it out into the middle of the field, long. Got their attack coming, have a pod in the middle of the field. They send in Cox. The former prop certainly knows how to take the one into contact. Long switches to the boot. Long, a biochem major out of Georgetown Prep from Bethesda. Gets good return on that as the Providence Friars really made to work hard. Ball is going to come back here to Holy Cross. Holy Cross on the move. Ball down there for Luis Espinal. Out they come to Bancuti. Bancuti puts a pass in, but it's picked off there. Big run coming. Do they have the gas? There's some changes coming on. Does Tierney have the gas? He does not. And over the line goes Kevin Kirkland. We talked about Kirkland before. A senior from Conard High School in West Hartford, Connecticut. Touches down a try. 5 on the board for the Friars.
It was initially great work from Holy Cross. They got field position. They forced the turnover. And then the attack got a little bit loose just as this pass was coming out. As they were on the front foot, it's Kevin Kirkland who snapped it up. It bounced right into his hand. He had a lot of work to do, but just look at that running technique. He is pumping those arms. He is not going to be stopped. As you said, John, we mentioned him at the start of the show, Kevin Kirkland. I tell you what a finish that was. And it was against the run of play because Holy Cross had the ascendancy.
Yeah, so difficult for those people to turn from offense to defense there. They gave it a try to Jonathan Tierney, but he wasn't quite going to get there. So as we said, 5 points to the Friars. Kick to come. Emmett Derby lines this one up. Pushes it through. Another 2 points there for the Friars. 7-0.
Yeah, it's just a big turnaround there. But this game has been already, we're only a few moments in. It's been back and forth. Both teams have had possession. Just as we look back, it's just that missed pass. He was trying to pull it back to a second layer of attack. And then Kevin Kirkland, just look at that running technique. And I tell you what, a dive to finish. And he puts it down for his team. And that got the crowd going.
Ball back in play. The restart from Holy Cross. Bounces back into Crusaders' hands. Will Shuck has the ball. Will Shuck, the senior from Gonzaga High School. Gonzaga College High School. Great rugby program in the D.C. area. Ball goes to ground. Lynch looking for some runners. A little tight ball. Hits the ground again. Friars defenders swarm on that one. Ball coming across. Long. To the outside there. That's the man you want to have run the ball. It's John Cox. Lynch again. Little wrapping run there from this Crusaders team. They're inside the 22. Let's see what they can make of this one. Ball comes up to Swords. Michael Swords from Don Bosco Prep, Glen Rock, New Jersey. Number of players of that last name at Holy Cross. And the American rugby community. Ball comes up. Holy Cross loses a little bit of ground there. Well forced by that Friars defense. Christopher Dalton. Lynch. Long. Looking for a runner. Can't quite find him. Hangs onto it himself. Does Connor Long. Cox makes the ground. Outside center. Running like a prop right there. Looking for it. Ball comes up to Tierney. Tierney goes to the ground. Boston College high school player. Penalty against the Friars for that one. Quick they go. Players are not 10, so there should be another penalty already, but right over the line they go. Looks like Connor Long. He's going to touch that one down. 5 points on the board. They can tie it up with a conversion.
If you're going to look at how to respond, Holy Cross just gave us a masterclass there. They were under the pump with that interception try, but they got the ball back and they just worked their way up the field, phase after phase, amongst the forwards and the backs, and they eventually draw the penalty here. It's a good initial challenge, and just as that ball became available, the referee deemed that the tackler was not rolling away, so there wasn't a clear entry, and then it was a quick tap and go from Connor Long, and he saw the gap and then powered through for the try. But that was just sustained pressure, John, phase after phase. Excellent riposte there from Holy Cross.
Quick thinking from Long. Now he's got to convert his own try. Is not going to hit, so it's going to be 7-5 for the Friars. Back and forth game, very exciting. Both these teams, Craig, really want to run.
Yeah, this is an open game already. There's so much going on, and you've got men like that, Connor Long, who was just making sure he found the holes and he was getting the try. But in the whole build-up to that play, he was very controlled. He was picking off his big forward runners. He was making a few line breaks himself. Bankudian shot there. He was also doing some damage with the running. That was just a very good team try.
Rinklin to get us underway again. Rinklin hangs that one up. It's going to drift right down by the 10-meter line. Well done. Knocked forward there by Timniak, the first-year player. Under a little bit of pressure, so we're going to come back for a scrum to the Providence Friars.
Where have these 10 minutes gone, John? This is absolutely flown by. We've had scrums, we've had interceptions, we've had phase play. This is going to be a really important aspect. Both teams so far, they've had one opportunity each to get ascendancy in the scrum. Both have been pinged by the referee for not driving straight. So they're going to have to just get nice and straight here, get the ball in and out so Providence can launch their attack.
It will be a fascinating part of the game. Let's see if we can get a completed scrum here. Danny Tack has ball in hand, surveys the field. Communicating there with Emmett Derby. Deciding what the play may be. You see Rinklin hovering in the background there. And they use him as a first punch runner. as they set up their offensive structures. Ball quickly in. Good push comes from Holy Cross. Just to be good. Tack gets it away to Derby. Derby gets it in the middle of the field. Wrinkler knocks that one on. Comes up into the hands of the Crusaders. The Crusaders will Shuck. Get it to Cox. Move that one out. Didn't quite get that phase transition they would have loved to get there. They wanted to run. Player being held up by Wrinkler. Eventually gets to the ground, so the Crusaders right at halfway are on the move. Send some forwards in to straighten this one out. That's Liam Travis. Liam Travis takes that into contact. Out the back, they go to Cox. Some runners here. There's somebody on the outside. They can get the ball out there. Not going to go there. Going to keep the ball hands of Nicholas Murphy. Going to get hauled down and taken into touch. Be a line out here for the Friars. You can see how important that is to them.
Yeah, this is just a brilliant. The crowd are into this because both teams are giving it to them. This is excellent work. And I tell you what, number 13 for Holy Cross, every time he gets the ball, he looks dangerous. But so far, Providence have been up to it defensively, and this is what's made it such an exciting game. There is opportunities everywhere with John Cox. He certainly looks threatening as we look back at the replay with his ball in hand.
Big run there from Nicholas Murphy. Nicholas Murphy is senior economics and religious studies major from Darien, Connecticut. As that ball comes down, Lynch moves it away. Now they're going to go to the short side. Just stretching out the field for themselves here. So come back into the middle. That hole almost opened up there for Dalton, but he's tackled. Players in and over from Providence. They've stolen that ball, or have they? Not releasing hands in and over it, according to referee Tancredi. Loud blast of the whistle. We may have a quick conversation here.
Relatively disciplined.
Yes, sir.
Outside of when we came down here to the 22.
Yes, sir.
We had a not rolling over here. We had a hands in the ruck.
Yeah.
And then we just had him kick the ball away.
Yes, sir.
Talk to them.
I will.
Next defense down here in the 22, someone's sitting down.
Minahane gets
Mark's
to
gonna be
talking to
here.
there. He's going to talk to his team.
Yep, very clear, Dean, that there was hands in the ruck there.
Two
And
whistles.
then the worst infringement of all is kicking the ball away. He probably knew what was going to happen there because Connor Long wanted to tap and go, and they've done it again.
They're in the tri-zone, and that person's going to come up. It's going to be John Cox. We're going to say that name a lot. Junior economics major. He's from Sudbury, Mass. Went to St. Sebastian's High School. He could be a prop. He could be a center. He can pretty much do it all, John Cox. And we're only 12 minutes into this one.
Yeah, that was a set play straight from the training ground. You can see that John Cox is there. We already mentioned how much of a dominant runner he is, and they just give him the ball and just go, John, do your thing, and that's exactly what he did. Providence didn't really fancy that tackle. They're going to be really disappointed with that. That close to your line, you cannot go high on big, strong players like that. You've got to go lower. You've got to have the ascendancy and take the tackle to him, else John Cox is going to have a field day all day long.
Pretty straightforward message at halftime to some of your players. They have taken the lead, have the Holy Cross Crusaders. Long can extend it here. 10-7 at the moment. Long lines that one up. Nods at the post. Launches that one. This is going to push just to the right. So we're at 10-7. Holy Cross kick to come from the Friars. Back and forth as can be.
Yeah, it's just you can see John Cox here, but just watch the tackle technique. It was all on the heels. It was almost like they were already hitting the reverse button. And you do not do that with John Cox when he's running the ball. He's going to take those yards and those points all day long.
Kirkland set to get us going again here. Kirkland at the midfield. Providence would like this lead to change here. We're just around 12 minutes into this one. That one hangs high. It is not going to make it to 10. So choice here will most likely be a scrum for Holy Cross.
There's just a few skill set errors coming into play here for Providence. They've got to manage their emotions. There's a loud crowd. There's a fantastic crowd. And just as we're looking there, looking back at the replay, you can see they just didn't get that ball 10 yards from that play. And that allowed Holy Cross to just build up and get the scrum from there.
Let's go back! Come on, back!
Going to be a scrum of the midfield here, pardon me, for the Crusaders. Lynch and Tack.
Set!
Scrappy number 9's battling this one out. This one will come in from Lynch. Good drive here from Providence. Penalty coming against Holy Cross. Fans are happy, team is happy. Providence opportunity to move us downfield.
That made the crowd very happy. These scrums have been back and forth here. This time it was Providence. They just looked so much more connected and working as an 8-man there to really drive them forward. That gave them some nice field position. These scrums, both teams are really giving it to each other.
Emmett Derby gets that one downfield.
And if you just look back here, you can see the power, what is coming from that scrum. You can see that Holy Cross are already on an angle. And then when they start to go backwards, that's when the penalty comes.
Ball down to Tack, out to Derby. Derby put him in this field position. Run in the middle of the field. Comes from Paserno. Carl Paserno takes it forward for this team, the junior from North Providence High School. A local boy here. Pass eventually goes one too far. Rolls into touch. Be a line out for the Crusaders.
Once again, good pressure there from Holy Cross defensively. This time it was more connected and it wasn't just racing off the line. They had what we call a nice push defense as well. They were forcing Providence to go out wide, and then that's when they took their opportunity, forced a skill set error, and that gives them the turnover and a chance to launch from their own lineup.
Just inside their own half, Holy Cross. They have a 5-player lineout they're going to put in here. We get a shot at Cox, happily waiting for the ball. Ball goes up to Tierney, and now they go back. On rushing Friars defense, trying to shut this one down. They look for the wraparound, but that one hits the ground. Dangerous place when you have a guy like Kirkland there. But it was knocked on in the effort, so scrum to the Providence Friars. Drew a penalty last time on the scrum. They want to get that ascendancy.
Absolutely. It was just a little stagnant there from the attack from Holy Cross. As we just look back at this, there was no real flow onto the ball. They tried to play a little bit behind. You can just see how far behind the gain line this actually is. No real impetus at the gain line. So then the Crusaders just didn't have that go forward, and it was the Providence who could really scoop it up and then give themselves a chance for this scrum.
I mean, at this point in the season, really, those connections have to work, right? You've been working at it in practice, in your games all season. Bit of pressure here as that ball squirts back and out to Holy Cross. Did it come straight back into the scrum? The referee's happy, so Connor Bancuti takes it forward. Bancuti down. Liam Travis takes the ball next. Liam Travis, a first-year player from Staten Island. Went to Xavier High School, another rugby hotbed. Penalty for not rolling away against the Providence Friars. Opportunity to push this one downfield for the Crusaders. Ball is going to roll on a touch eventually. Going to be a lineup for Providence.
So if we just look at this penalty here, you can see that this player is deemed to be not rolling away because he's interfering with the play. That's where the referee didn't allow clear access to the ball for the attack. Quite cynical, easy penalty to give.
Christopher Dalton, first-year player. Zavarian Brothers, Newton, Mass native. Zavarian Brothers, one of the top high school rugby programs in Massachusetts. Just south in Providence. The number 10s collide there. Well, they got a little better, but Long and Derby. Derby forced them to spill the ball. Danny Tack comes up with it. Move it to the right-hand side, just over the 22. Derby, as the ball moves it wide. Minahane pushes that ball away. Whistles go on. Let's see what the referee's call is here.
So he picked up a little injury there. What's the referee seen?
Be a knock on. Back on the other side of the field to be a scrum here for Providence. Was giving them that knock on advantage. Rory McGrath took a little bit of a awkward bounce there, but he's okay.
Yep, we got the thumbs up just as we look back there, and this is much better from Connor Long, taking the ball to the line. Yes, the ball did come out a bit, but what a difference between the two attacks we saw a few moments ago. It was at the line, it was forcing pressure, and then just as the play develops there, that's where we see the knock on and we restart.
Inside their 22, Derby speaking to Tack, deciding what they want to do. They can put this one directly into touch. the line out for Holy Cross, wherever it lands, and they may try to run this one. Both these teams seem keen to entertain the Friday night fans. But Tack gets into Derby, and they're going to go on the run. Looking for the break, get the ball to the danger man, Kirkland. Kirkland, a little offload there to McGrath. McGrath across the line. Can they get this one away? Have done. Was that an illegal roll? No problem. This is going to squirt back. Messy there around the breakdown, but it comes back to the Crusaders. Crusaders get it to Dalton, first-year powerhouse, 5'7", 185. Into contact there. Ball goes to Lynch. Lynch moves it wider. Connor Long. It's out to the big fella, Michael Swords, senior economics major. Looking for that inside pass. The connection is not there. Cerno on the spot. Referee may have deemed it a knock-on.
Yeah, Holy Cross are taking it to the line that little bit more now. They're just showing a little bit more potency when they're carrying the ball. But Providence, they are making a mess of every single ruck. This has been really interesting to see, as you can just see that strong, powerful carry. Now they're moving that ball. They're just trying to change the angle of attack. And then Swords there, big midfield hit. And they try to get a little bit tricky here. You can see they were trying to play that inside ball. The connection just wasn't there. You can see the space was created. Was there a knock on in that tackle? You could argue so.
With a call. Ball coming in from Lynch. Drive coming from the Friars. We're able to get that one away. And here comes Connor Long. Connor Long gets by Danny Tack. Eventually taken down by the Friars defense. Big run there from Nicholas Murphy. Benjamin Capacci. They use their front rowers to punch these holes. Sight one there. The ball spills off, but it's gone backwards according to the referee. So Connor Bancuti is going to go and try to clean this one up. Koch right there. Straight to Swords, but it's penalized. Players crossing there. Penalty for the Friars.
There's some nice stuff there from Holy Cross. It's a lot tighter, their play. They're trying to punch the holes. They just got their timing slightly wrong there. That's why there was an obstruction call, just as there's a short line and an option outside the back. But you could definitely see what Holy Cross were trying to do there.
Long kick from Emmett Derby there.
And just looking back, it's just as the attack was starting to develop, you can see here the obstruction in front of the play, and that's where the penalty came from.
Ball in here for the Friars. Good with that one to Tressler. Player to keep an eye on. Short pass there from Derby in the middle of the field to Contos, trying to get that one going. Picked and ripped away there by the Crusaders. Quick action around the breakdown. Players have to try to not get isolated as it comes back in from John Cox. Cox. Ball to ground. To the right-hand side they go. Dalton, powerful for a first-year player. Certainly unafraid of contact. Back across they come to Henry Timniak. Henry Timniak, first-year player. Out of Fairfield Prep. Ball comes across, looking out a little deeper there. Wide they go. They get that one last pass away into the hands of Bragioli. He can't find too much ground, but they've stretched the field. Do they have some room to run? Capochi is going to take that one in. Now they come. They're going to stay in the center of the field with the forward pods. Cox. Wider they go. Espinal gets that one away. They're at the touchline. Did it go forward? Referee's there. A little forward pass, a little knock-ons. Can you scrum here for the Friars?
Once again there from Holy Cross, they are putting together some excellent phases. It's not just strong carries. They're playing out the back. They're going from width to width. But it's just that slight skill set error towards the end, which is letting them down. But in terms of the shape that Holy Cross are putting onto the ball, very, very classy stuff.
Reinhardt, the fullback for this Friars team. Ball's going to come in from Danny Tack. Danny Tack, a senior finance major. Looking to turn that one were the Crusaders, but the penalty goes the Friars' way. So Derby will step up again, looking for a long kick.
Holy Cross penalised there. Once again, not driving straight, wheeling that ball around this scrum. There can just be no ascendancy has been set at all. It has been a lottery in there with many different infringements, from pulling it down to driving from the side. And if we just look back on this, you can see the angle here that Holy Cross are driving in. It's not straight. It moves as we just play through, and that's where the penalty came from. And it's just an easy decision from the referee.
Ball up again to Tressler. Middle pod they go, looking to bang a little room through the center as they gather back up. Pressure coming on. They're good around that breakdown. Danny Tack a little high over the head of Derby that time. Ball there to Reinhardt. Haven't seen a lot of Reinhardt ball in hand yet. Tack has a forward pod. Tressler. Junior from the Harvey School. Tack's going to go back to this right-hand side. Going to get the ball to Kirkman. Trying to work his way through. Cannot beat every defender on Holy Cross. So I have to go back to the structures. DeFusco took that one in. Looking wide, trying to find some room. One tackle, taken down by the shoelaces eventually. Penalty again against Holy Cross. Hit by the breakdown, dive by the breakdown, little breakdown infringement there.
Yeah, nice play there. Good shape this time from Providence. First time they've put a few phases together and put the pressure on. And if we just look back at this play, you can see the referee deemed that in the tackle, there needs to be a clear release. So you can see 15 is still part of the tackle. And does he release? No, not quite. He stays within there. And that's where the penalty comes from, because he didn't release before he went back for the ball.
Still 10-7, just about 25 minutes gone here at Providence College. It's a Friars lineout. Looking to retake the lead here. Usual coordinated dance that is a lineout these days. Comes down to Tack. Derby in behind. Looking for the width on this one of the Friars. Taking the ball a little flat-footed. Reinhardt to take on two defenders. They've stretched the field. There is Kirkland. Kirkland bounced off one. Kirkland meets his match in Christopher Dalton. Great work there from Dalton to knock Kirkland, the freshman on the senior, into touch. Could be a lineup for Holy Cross.
I am loving this battle between Kirkland and Cox right now. Kirkland, just watch how he just sinks. He bounces, and he just as he goes for one more, he does go into touch. But just watch as John Cox comes into shot here. He is the one clapping in Kirkland's face. Those two are having a great, respectful battle against each other.
Let's say they know each other as the ball comes up to Tierney. Running from their own line here. Dangerous days. They've dropped a couple of these passes, but this one goes to hand, and they have one more runner outside. What can they make out of this? Ball's going to get taken by Bruggioli towards touch, turned over by the Friars. Fractured field, but we'll see what this team can do. Tack gets the ball away. They have some runners. Kirkland puts it out there. Wayward pass. Referee's blowing his whistle.
Back to the scrum.
We're going to come back to a scrum. There was a knock-on advantage there. So scrum for the Friars. Free play. Kirkland tried to take advantage of.
I'll tell you what, Jeff, don't credit the referee. He has got his work cut out tonight. This game has got absolutely everything. It's end-to-end, width-to-width, big tackles. Just as we look here, you can just see how big these collisions are as they're trying to move that ball into space, as players still trying to get in position. This match has absolutely everything.
It's been an exciting first half so far. The battle is on.
This is going to be a loud scrum here. The fans are right in position.
Fans, by the way, enjoying some pizzas. One of the Friars alumni brought 100 pizzas for everybody that showed up. So good day in the stands, well fed, enjoying some great rugby. Ball comes to the feet there. The Friars. Tack moves it to Derby. He's got runners. Where are they going to go with that one? Little wraparound there as that space can open up. The pass is beautiful in the hands of Reinhardt. Reinhardt has defenders going every which way. Takes it on through. Espinal trying to come in and over that one. Tack comes back. Tressler. Tack again, gets the ball to Lambert. Lambert, no thoughts other than running into some defenders.
Off feet.
Analyzed against players coming off their feet from the Friars. Tough around the breakdown sometimes, but getting away with that one are the Crusaders, their penalty.
That was a lovely little starter play from Providence to find that edge. Kirkland was the main point man, but they just used him as a bit of a decoy to then allow Reinhardt to find that gap out wide there. Just as we look back here, you can see that in the midfield, it's going to go to that man Kirkland. You can see the line is coming up, just as we pause it here. This is going to be the point man, but what we do here is the wrap around into the space, and that's what opens up into those wider channels. Really nice play there to exploit the defense and send some decoy runners through.
Really unselfish. That player might have been able to take the hole themselves, but saw the bigger picture as the ball comes up to Tierney, the main line-out target for this Crusaders team. Again, they take this a little flat-footed sometimes, but are able to work it to the outside. Espinal on the run here. Espinal from North Bergen, New Jersey, gets taken into touch, much to the delight of the fans. Be another Friars line-out.
Yeah, this time, as you can see, the difference between that Providence attack we just showed you and then the Holy Cross, there was no sitting down of the defense. It was just very much to the side, and that allowed Providence just to push defense, and they eventually run out of room. You can just see how it's going sideways. No one's really sitting around the defenders. And although it looks like there's a line break coming here, if you actually check where the line out started, it's maybe only 2 or 3 yards in front of where it happened. So it looked a lot, but not for a lot of gain, and there was good defense there and good coverage.
Coach! Fine!
Defensive scrum, you see the Crusaders. Ball to come in here from the Providence College Friars. A little initial shove. You see O'Sullivan took a little backward step there. Here's pressure coming on from Holy Cross. But Tack able to get it away. Derby, they're looking for another one in the midfield. They a little differently this time, but they get it to Reinhardt. Reinhardt this time chooses to try to go through the hole, but does not open up for him. Battle coming. Tack gets that one away. Tressler. Again, into contact's been active in this first half. So about 10 minutes left in this exciting matchup so far. Tack's going to come back down the left-hand side. Also Clyde Lambert, political science major, another first-year player, Wilmington, Mass. Looking to go a little deeper. A little bit of confusion there, but the ball back in Reinhardt's hands, which will make them very, very happy. Having to come to Cleveland up is Rocco Cantos. Player in and over for Holy Cross, unable to get that one away. That was Timniak. Tressler. Minahane.
Tackle!
Looking for some runners. Tack gets it up for Tuna. Big run for the sophomore from Hanover, Mass. Derby. Defenders rushing on. Rushing onto that man like there, Kirkland. Catching the eye of some of these players. Tack can get quick ball out of this one. Player in his way. Referee said not impeding illegally though, so Tressler's going to take that one in. Holy Cross tries to turn it over, but Tack still has it. They come back down the left. Kirkland in the first receiver spot. Get it to the wing. They have some company, however. A little spin move. Tyg Rogan. Also haven't seen too much of Rogan today. They seem to be coming in on an angle there, but referee perfectly happy with it. Decides to play on Clyde Lambert to the ground. Derby eyes up the field. Little pass. Reinhardt again starting to insert himself into these offensive moves, but throws a pickoff pass there to Progioli. Progioli from Wareham, Mass. Forward pod waiting. There's Bancuti. Lynch. Long. Play out back. Big hit coming in. Well read there by none other than Kirkland. But able to get the ball away. Nicholas Murphy's going to go on a little scamper. Taken down eventually just inside the half. Swords comes up with that big run. Back across the halfway. Getting their offensive structures back. They get it to Dalton. Dalton's been all power all the time when he's had the ball so far. As well as some good defense. Ball out to Lynch. Pass to Timniak. Goes forward. So it's going to be a scrum here. Long, directing traffic well, this fly half. Has a lot to live up to. Jackson Everett was their fly half for a bit of time. He's actually out at the Olympic Training Center trying to make the Eagle Sevens program.
Time's off. Blood's up. Blood's up.
Just as we look at time off here, you can see as we look back, as there was a bit of ascendancy starting to happen, just watch how the space is taken away as we're driving through. He reads this really, really well. He takes away the space and then puts in a fantastic hit to then put Holy Cross really on the backfield. But that man, Kevin Kirkland, who's not in screen right now, but he is having a great day.
Blood substitute for the Friars. They can just clean this player up. He can go back on once they get that sorted out. Again, that active bleeding on the field. Of course, if it's too bad, they'd keep the player off. Player safe to be in number 1. But we're set to go again here. Scrum just inside their own half. Still 10-7. 2 unconverted tries for Holy Cross. 1 converted for Providence.
Bind.
Just over 7 minutes to go in this half of the game clock.
Set.
Fascinating first half, fascinating battle, big push coming. Have to get this ball away. Referee sees the penalty again. It's against Holy Cross again. Player hitting the ground there. You see the referee just putting his knee to the ground.
16 to deck. 16 step down.
So once again,
against some Friars. His hand was pointed the other way, so.
Yep, once again, it's a scrum penalty. It has just been such a lottery there.
They're going to go quick. They like to run. This man especially, Cox, working his way forward. Quick pass there from Lynch. Good pressure from the Friars. Forces a little slowdown around the breakdown, and momentum is lost. Going to have to regain it here are the Holy Cross Crusaders. Quick ball there up to Bancuti. Bancuti finds a little space. Building the phases here are the Holy Cross Crusaders. This one out to Henry Timniak. Timniak gets through the first tackle. Taken down by the second. Recycles it well. Comes out there into the hands of Cox. Cox. Players dragging him towards the touchline. 3 or 4 of them able to get back up into their defensive positions right now. You saw that Friars defense on that set, just waiting for the attackers to come to them. Little line speed would help them out here. As you see the post in the background, inching ever closer are the Holy Cross Crusaders. Another pick and go. Looks like they're going to go the direct big boy route. Works its way back. A little slowdown here. Tierney takes a shot at it. See the post in the background there. The red line will be the try line. Big run coming here. He's been in the try zone. He was one of the 2 tries. But not that time for Connor Long. Ball seemed to be alive there. They're there. They are in. They are over. Is the referee going to award? Yes, he is. Liam Travis is going to touch that one down. The number 8 is a first-year economics major out of Xavier High School.
Very controlled rugby there from Holy Cross. They found that field position and they just look deadly when they're in the Providence 22. They look very controlled. The forwards know what they're doing. They've got numbers around for those pick and goes, and then it's just a real power play. Look how he sinks those shoulders really low, gets below the tackler. Look at that. That's a great shot there. And then the leg drive to power through. It doesn't look too much when you're watching it live, but those little details are really important as much as this kick. And it looks like they've changed the kicker, John.
Changed the kicker here. It's going to be James Flaherty, a junior from BC High, from Scituate, Mass. Left footer. He's going to hit that one, so he's going to get the 2 points off of it. And he is in the game now, is Flaherty. Goes to 17 points to 7 for the Crusaders.
Yeah, just as we look at here, Holy Cross, they're really controlled and disciplined, and then it was Liam Travis. He just saw where the line was, and just look how he put his head through the hole, then his shoulders followed, and that was all because of that leg drive. Nice and low. That is a textbook carry, particularly to the try line.
Kirkland to get us restarted. Kirkland didn't hit 10 in the last one. He'll want to go a little longer with this. So see Simpson Daniel looking on. Team down 10 points in this Friday Night Rugby matchup. That ball bounces back towards the Friars. Players held around there. We'll see what it comes back to. Probably an initial knock on. The sounds of the crowd, I'd say so. Scrum here for the Friars.
Yeah, I wonder if the ball got caught up in the floodlights there, or maybe it's this rowdy crowd that was getting in their ear. But either way, Holy Cross, they call that a coach killer. You score your points, and then straight from the restart, you put yourself under pressure. But from a Providence point of view, this is a great opportunity. Just about 20 meters in or so, there's a big blind side to the right. I wonder if they exploit that space and try and get over that way.
Saren with the back of the number 8. He's got some room on the right-hand side if they decide to go there. You see just a shadow in the back there. A defender from Holy Cross has moved over just to cover that. Holy Cross trying to put the big drive on. I would see a penalty there, and I do. Danny Tack thinks about going quick. They calm down.
Looks like they might have a set play here with the big man, Minahane, looking to charge.
Minahane is going to do exactly that. He's met by 2 defenders and goes to the ground. Ball comes out. They're going to go for a forward run here again. That's going to be Saren. Referee telling Holy Cross to keep their hands away. They're going to go a little wider. Nice run. Space opens up there again from Reinhardt. Good held pass there from Kirkland. Just timed it to get him into those spaces. And here comes Tressler. And a key runner in this first half. Holy Cross trying to get in and dig over this one. And the referee is going to award that penalty to the Crusaders. Interesting there. Seems like a player kind of held in. They're going to get that takeaway, and it's a turnover here for Holy Cross.
Yeah, it was the big
Maybe
number
the end of our
9.
half.
Tall number 9, Dylan Lynch, who got himself in there. And what a way to end a half. That had absolutely everything, John.
I am absolutely exhausted and can't wait for the second half. 17-7, the Crusaders lead the Friars. We are going to talk about... We're going to be back with second half action just after this. See some excited players here. That's Kirkland. He is a big runner and a proud player. Big hits coming in wonderfully well. We're going to step aside for just a minute. We'll be back with second half action after this.
Consistency on 3. 1, 2, 3.
In a sport of power and precision, you need a powerful and precise camera. Analyze your game. Build your team. Grow together.
Ready, up.
Video captures moments. A powerful camera for a powerful sport.
Hello and welcome back to the College Rugby Show. The fall season is upon us. We have a brand new division, now 4 men's divisions, 4 women's divisions. We've had that in 7s. We're going to be coming to you once every other week here in this video podcast form.
I'm excited for a season of telling college rugby's best stories.
We deserve to be here. We're going to keep, representing.
That was, to me, the biggest testament for the future of the game.
College is known for its quickness. How would you describe your style of play?
I definitely like to say this year especially, we've worked on getting more creative with the ball in our hands, and that's playing in our favor with our back line, with our forwards. Our forwards definitely smaller, but we know how to work with the ball. We're quick around the field.
We know you for your 7s play, 2024 and 25 national qualifiers. How have you gelled? How have you adapted to the 15s game to make it to a national stage?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough moving from 7s to 15s. A lot of time forwards want to pass the ball around, get a little fancy with it, but moving back into getting into contact, getting used to the contact, coming out quick with it, making our hits. That's how we gelled last week. It's going to work again this week. So,
all right, Kevin, how would you describe the style of play this year?
I'd say we're really looking for like a fast-flowing kind of offense. Get out in space, bring support, always have an offload ready to go. Always be ready for the next step.
144 points scored, 142 points allowed. How has the defense played a picture in that?
Out of the start of the season, our defense wasn't where we wanted it to be. We weren't spreading well. We weren't folding. We were kind of getting beat along the edges. But in the past 2 weeks, we've really cleaned that up, and I think this is going to be the best test to see if we can really put that to the test.
A tough loss last year to take home the silver medal. Despite you playing prop last year, what's different to this year at the number 13 position?
Many things changed this year. As you said, I was a prop last year. Now I'm 13. I've learned a new position every single year. I've played forward the last few years, second row into prop. Now I'm playing 13. I'm no stranger to things changing around. This team is new. Things change all the time. Holy Cross Rugby is just adapting, overcoming. We play aggressive every year. That's how we're going to play tonight. Tackling. That's what we do. Despite yourself changing, tell me a little bit more about that team changing. Obviously, you mentioned aggression. What has changed? Last year, we had a bunch of seniors on our starting lineup, a lot of veterans. Honestly, I don't think there was any new rookies to the game, any freshmen actually starting on the team last year. This year, we have a few freshmen, all of which we hold in high regard, all of which have a great skill level, great skill set. We're nurturing their game, leveling up their game. As loss against Nichols College, how have you bounced back?
I think we took a step back, looked at that game, and realized we didn't play our best game. A lot of the time, the new players showed up and they had to step up because we had a lot of early season injuries. So we decided to look at the film and we decided to look at us as a team, and we realized we can play better than that. So really, that just means changing our mindset, changing our attitude at practice, not just going through the motions, but tackling with purpose, passing with purpose, running with purpose, breaking those lines. So yes, it was a tough loss, but as Coach and John Cox said, we learned from that. Any good team will learn from a loss, and we are very excited to play Nichols again in the future. So what specifically have you learned?
Welcome back to Friday Night Rugby, National Collegiate Rugby, bringing you the best, and this is certainly living up to the billing. 17-7, Holy Cross leads Providence. I'm John Broker, joined by Craig Wilson, the contact coach. We have had a lot of play in the first half. We're going to chat about it in just a bit. Opening up here is a big interception from that man right there, Kevin Kirkland. He has been all over the place, leading his team on offense and defense. Had to go the distance just a couple of minutes in, beat all the defense and put down 5. But then it was kind of all Holy Cross in the try zone.
Yeah, you see that Connor Long, he took his opportunity from a quick tap penalty, and it was also another penalty play what got the big man number 13, John Cox, over the line. That was just sheer power, taking it to the heart of the defense. But a real hallmark of the Crusaders' play is their forwards play, particularly close to the try line. And what I liked about this is just their latch play. Just watch here as they're starting to build. You can see that they're getting really organized to then launch their attack. And it doesn't look particularly pretty, but just watch here how they're building those 2v1 tackle techniques, and that allows them to get that ascendancy and critically draw in the defense. And you can start to see holes starting to appear, which Connor Long went through there. And once again, they're getting set up in their shape. And as they start to go, you can see number 8, Travis there. He is just powering through for that try. And that was just built upon good forward skill work, particularly in the carry.
In tight, they have been effective, has Holy Cross. So we're going to get ready to start the second half. In the white, they're going to be left to right on your screen this time. Will be the Crusaders leading 17-7. Referee Jeff Tancredi gets Friday Night Rugby underway again. Second half, 40 minutes to go, 10 points in it. Is Providence up to the challenge? Are either of these teams going to change tactics? The contact coach will analyze all of that for you. As quickly, the Friars come up with a penalty against Holy Cross. Referee wants to have a word.
2. Captain. Ball down. Separate. Back up. We have direct shoulder to head. It's a high degree of danger. It's mitigated, though, by the ball carrier dropping suddenly from the first point of contact. We're at a yellow card because of that. Shoulder to head. Okay, sir.
We're going to have our first yellow card of the game from referee Tancredi.
Yeah, just as we look here, you can see that it is shoulder to face there. There's probably slight mitigation that there is a dip in the carry, but clearly they're great camera angle. There is a shoulder to the face. That cannot be done in rugby. A yellow card is a fair result. Referee Jeff Tancredi, he is right on the money there.
He certainly has been right on the spot. As you see the Friars lining up here, looks like they're going to push this one downfield. Take the line out, gain some territorial advantage for that high tackle. Unfortunate yellow card for Dalton as Derby pushes that one down. We get going just again.
Yeah, that's a nice kick. Good territory and a good way to start the second half to give his team Providence the opportunity to launch their own attack. Their line out has been solid this whole game. This is going to be absolutely crucial because they are 10 points behind now. Look, there is 40 minutes to go, but it's important that you start strong and lay down a message.
Yeah, just under a minute gone in this half. Tack gets a ball, puts it out in the hands of Derby. Derby puts a pod in. Paserno takes it. Derby again comes a little wider, looking for a bounce off there and gets it as Kirkland. You see that Crusaders defense. Whenever Kirkland gets a ball, they start to just kind of swarm. They know the danger he can bring. So they're going to run another forward pod here and gain a little ground. Good work there by Matthew Fortuna. Fortuna, sophomore of the Hanover School. Here comes the danger man, Kirkland. Gets up and goes around. Referee Tancredi happy with that one. Tack. Gets that ball to Derby one more time. Little chip forward there from Ronan. How's it going to bounce? It's going to bounce there for this Providence Friars team. Ball's gone down. Did it get knocked on? Referee says indeed it did. Good effort there. Eventually a little errant pass winds up in a knock-on.
But we talked about, Providence talked about their creativity and how they're trying to really change the point of attack. That was a perfect example. That's how they kicked in behind there, and you saw the ball did bounce up back into Reinhardt's hands, and it was just a slight knock on. But if we're talking about creativity, that was it. Lovely bit of play here. Look at that chip on the run, and then the ball bounces nicely into Reinhardt's hands, and it's just a slight knock on. But I tell you what, that was a potent attack. And look how they're really trying to change the picture there, Providence.
The coach is just empowering their players to have a good time and play. Certainly, Timothy Ronan didn't need a second offer. Ronan, the sophomore from St. Joe's Prep in Philadelphia. He's from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, just in the Philly suburbs. Another great high school rugby program. Ball away again from Lynch. Long, looking for some runners. That space nearly opened up for Cox. Closed down. Ball trying to get ripped away there from Derby. He gets driven back. Good pressure coming in. Was there a knock on? Was there a penalty? Referees on the spot here. A little over anxious there from Kirkland. Penalty here for Holy Cross.
Kirkland, he really is a danger man. Already this half. Is that ball going to go out? It sneaks out, but Kirkland, he is everywhere. He's carrying, he's counter-rucking. You can just see here, he's really trying to put a bit of pressure on, sneaks around the side. That's not through the gate. It looks like he's at the middle towards the end, but that's quite a quick picture for the referee, and you can't be playing the 9 anyway, so maybe a couple of penalties.
Yeah, it's a couple of penalties to pick from there for referee Tancredi. Kirkland just wanted to change the game. Very active. We see the other 13 Cox. That one seemed to go a little sideways. Where's it going to wind up? It's going to come back into the hands of the Providence Friars. Nice little movement there from Tresser to get him going. Down the right-hand side, they're going to stay with the forwards as they get things set up. Nice break from Clyde Lambert. Lambert makes some ground. 3 players in and over. Tack moves it away. At the line are a waiting set of forwards. Quick ball on offer here as they go right out into the back line. They go to Kirkland. Kirkland puts up all to Reinhardt. Reinhardt takes it into contact. He had a runner on the outside. He's going to hold that one in and go back to some forward power. Fortuna. Second carry in quick succession in this half. Lambert heads back in towards that breakdown, leaves some defenders open for Holy Cross. See where they decide to go. Haven't gone to the boot there with Derby as they move it out the back. Just a moment ago, this man Ronan went for a kick. Now he's going to go for a run. Power coming on. Players trying to take that away. They're going to get this one on the ground. Holy Cross defense takes a little time to get set up. Down the right-hand side, Minahane goes off the little Danny Tack pass. Lambert again steps to the inside there. May just leave a couple of defenders open when he does so. Ball to Derby. Derby gets that one a little high, goes in behind the runner. There's some space out here if they can get it out. They decide to cut it back in. There's the pass. That one not so much. Rolls in a touch. Not throw themselves Fortuna, but it happens.
Yeah, Fortuna is going to be disappointed about that one. But if you're going to look in terms of building into a game from Providence there, that was the best shape that they've had all half. And you can see Coach there, just keep it going. Just don't need to panic towards the end there. There's some lovely shape. It's out the back pass, and they're just moving it. Reinhardt just needs to maybe give that ball a little bit quicker to get him into space. But I tell you what, some good attack. Yeah, there's a bit of pressure here in this pass. It's very speculative. That's never going to work.
Ball comes to the outside there. He just rolls in a touch. So, scrum here actually went forward. So, forward into touch of the choice. So, Holy Cross going to take the scrum. Inside their own 22. Referee Tancredi brings them together. Ball's at Travis's feet, but good pressure coming in again from Providence. Referee says everything's good. They're going to go away. Long gets that ball out into the hands of Shuck. Shuck making the big run. His center partner, Cox, just in the background there. Pick and go from Quisbert. Now looking to the forwards. Big opportunity here. Good run from Liam Travis. Capochi takes that one in. Lynch again. Looks a little wider. Gets it to Tierney. Tierney well hit by some Friars defenders. Player down. May need to be attended to. Referee just going to whistle that one up.
Nice play there from Holy Cross. This all started in their own 22. Yeah, the referee just said that as the play was moving towards the area where we have the injured player, that's why he stopped it for safety reasons. But this launch of attack for the Crusaders deep in their own half, And this time it was Shuck who went through the hole to really launch that play. Just as we look back at some of the footage here, you can see how intense this game is from the defensive point of view. Providence are trying to move that ball into the wider channels. He has been dangerous all day. Number 13, Kirkland. Look at that leg drive. This is a very intense game.
Player coming off for probably a head injury assessment, doesn't want to. These players are competitors, but safety and the health of these student athletes, much more important. DeFusco. As the Friars make a change.
We saw this attacking position earlier. It was from Providence, but now this is a great place to attack from Holy Cross. You can see they can create, if they attack towards the right-hand side with number 8 and number 9, that can quickly become a 3v1 or a 3v2. So Providence have got to be aware of that right hand. And guess who's floating in that area? Mr. John Cox. I wonder if this ball's going to go right, John.
Looks like Travis has looked right, is going to go left. Might have gotten caught up there. Derby has to step in and make the tackle. Keep going down this left-hand side. Luis Espinal has been steady defensively in the back there. Penalized are the Providence Friars. Player thought he was in there legally. Referee is going to whistle this one. We may have another card here. We'll have a discussion by the referee.
30 minutes down here. Yeah. We came back now. We immediately had problems again.
What was he offering?
Hands in the ruck, slowing it down. Next penalty for slowing the ball down here in the defensive 22. Someone sits down. Warning is back on.
Captain Minahane going to have a chance to talk to his team. You can see the player just come in illegally here.
Just as we look back, he had all rights to the ball there first time, but it was actually just that second attempt. He can't go back for it. And then I think there might be an extra 10 meters there. He showed a little bit of dissent. Referee is having none of it, just as we look here at Holy Cross.
Ball going forward. Holy Cross on the attack. Ball's alive. Picking it up there is Cox. Was he high tackled? Player released him, but over the line he goes there. So wonderfully well worked. Cox saw the opportunity. Did not need a second ask. Cox gets 5 points on the board in this second half.
He is absolutely everywhere. You see him on the wing. You see him in the midfield. You see him on the pick and goes. What could John Cox do more than what he's doing now? He's passing the ball there, but look how he's staying engaged in the play. He's the one who's driving out, who initially won that penalty, and then this is where the territory came from. Look, he wants the ball. He's active. He's just such a leader for this team. And then the referee has his words. That is where the penalty comes from. And then as the try comes, it's John Cox once again. I'm surprised he's not kicking, John.
Maybe later. Maybe you'll give him a shot later in the game. Speaking of kickers, they're going to continue with James Flaherty. Junior history major. It's good to see an impact player in the front row come up and start looking at those kicks. That one he's not going to hit, but it's still 22-7. A lead here for Holy Cross.
Yeah, once again, a tap penalty play. So this is going to be the third try, which has originated from a tap penalty. And it's just one pass to John Cox. He's there on that initial carry. And we mentioned earlier about their ability to latch on and be really dominant in this area. And exactly what we've done once again. He doesn't need any latches, rode the high tackle, power, and reached through. Look at this camera angle. This is excellent work. Look how he's just fighting. That's 3 tries from a tap penalty play, and then the other try was just getting down into the 22. So it shows you how potent they are once Holy Cross are in the opposition's 22.
Restart from the Friars. Opportunity for Providence there to take that one, but Holy Cross able to restart it. Staying tight to the breakdown. They send Dalton in. Back from his yellow card. Ball goes a little wider. It's out to Tierney. Ball ripped away. Referee says it's good. Minahane, the captain, comes up with it. Holy Cross players need to roll away. Scrum has to get there. Danny Tack does. Clyde Lambert. Ball nearly taken away. But a couple of knock-ons come in, so we're going to go back for the initial one against the Friars. So it's going to be scrum here for Holy Cross.
Yeah, that was a bit more of a battle there. A lot more attritional in this second half. The ball has been turned as they just try to move that ball into the wider channel. Some good tackle technique here. Just look how it was low and they get under the ball. They're trying to get the ball, but the ball does come down, but it is ripped. And then Minahane, he is just a dominant player everywhere he is. He's making physical plays. Just a couple of knock-ons, and then we reset with a scrum, and it's a Holy Cross exit.
Another Boston College high school graduate, senior physics major, Minahane. Referee brings the scrums together yet again. Pressure from the Friars. They're going to come off the back there with Travis. They get it to Cox. Happy to punch a hole. In and over is his opposite number, Kirkland, and he gets that penalty. Kirkland just tremendous there. We'll see what they decide to do. Are they going to go quick? Will they slow this down? They give it to Danny Tack. Kirkland, great work.
This battle between Cox and Kirkland is something else. Two standout players.
They're going to go quick. A little bit isolated there is Tressler. So they want to keep this one going. They have another set of forwards. Get the ball to Rocco Contos. Rocco Contos from Lincoln Sudbury. Stuck that time is Reinhardt. Good work by the defense. Stepping into that distributor role off of the wing. They're going to get this one back to a set of forwards, but they're losing a bit of their shape here at Providence. They're going to get a penalty nonetheless. Transgression there.
Yeah, really good pressure initially from Holy Cross. You can see their defense is getting off the line. And once again, it's a not rolling away penalty. It looks like, or not retreating onside. It looks like playing the ball from an offside position is what the decision from the referee is. But as you were just saying, John, it looks like Holy Cross are just really matching the physicality right now of Providence. But it is Providence who have the position. Look at these challenges here.
It should be a line out here for the Providence Friars. They get that one up. There's a contest there. It's going to come down into Tressler's hands. He's going to have to do a bit of work. And does. Tack has some runners, finds Lambert. Lambert has always gotten past the first and does again. Tack has to go in. That ball came out a little uncleanly. Diving forward to the line. Unlucky knock on. It's going to be a Holy Cross scrum at the 5-meter line. It was almost 5 points there for the Friars. Turns the other way.
Yeah, you could just see the difference. When Providence got down close to the line, they got a little bit panicky. They didn't build the pressure like we've been seeing from Holy Cross when they're in this situation. You can see it's a little bit more disjointed. It's more one-off players. And as he pounces for the line, there's a lot of bodies there. You're going to need some extra players to help him out. There's the knock-on. They just needed a little bit more calmness in that play. Just get two bodies V1 with a latch. But fair play to Holy Cross. They withstood it, and they got the turnover.
Been pretty even, but Providence has a little bit of the ascendancy here in the scrums. They'll be looking to drive a penalty off of this one. You can see they're right near the line here. So they would like this ball back, of course. Big drive coming. Referee blows the whistle. Penalty comes. It goes Providence's way. You might think I know what I'm talking about. Penalty here for the Friars.
Spot on. Analyst work there from John Broker. They do have the ascendancy, and you can see when the pressure comes on from Providence, they put their knee down in the scrum. They're pulling it down. That's Minahane. He goes for it.
The captain steps up, puts a little pass out there. It gets it out to Kirkland. Kirkland fighting his way forward. He's got Minahane with him. Tack looking for some runners. Finds one right there. Let's see if they can build a little better pressure here. Paserno takes that in. Back to that right-hand side they come. Minahane. Not getting to go forward on these runs. Looking for somebody to stand up there as Graham Richmond gets hit. Derby passes back in. Looking for Kirkland. Kirkland looking to take this one over the try line on his own. However he has to do it. He has a player over there on his neck, but referee has decided that player was going to the ground, so he should be okay. Coming a little wider now. Derby puts the pass out there. Big run. Is he held? Can he get up? Ball's on the ground. You see the try line. Tack has it. Comes back across to some forwards. It is headed into the try zone. It is stopped just short. Battle coming. Referee blows the whistle here. They have
penalty try, is it?
To say here, this may be a penalty try.
It is.
And indeed it is. 7 points to the good. That brings it to 14 for Providence. Severely impeded at the try line.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a yellow card coming as well. And just as we look back, for all money, it looked like Ronan Hay was going to get in. As we just look back at this play, that's what pressure does. The referee is having a chat. He's surrounded by Holy Cross players there. And then eventually it's a penalty try and 7 points.
And it looks like Bancuti went off for that one. So that's a big loss for this Crusaders team.
And that has certainly livened this game up for sure, because it's an automatic 7. You don't have to go for the 2 points. That's already given. So really good pressure there from Providence. And what it was built upon, John, and you mentioned it, good scrum pressure. They're getting their fundamentals right. And they're going to need that over the next 20, 22 minutes to chip it away at this scoreboard.
So they're more than a converted try behind, but they have a little of the momentum and pressure here. Let's see where they decide to go. That's Rocco Contos. Tack. Finds a forward runner. Holy Cross, good with the turnover sometimes. They need to be careful. So get the ball out to Minahane. Minahane puts it up to a player, slightly isolated. Will be able to get to the ground, however, opportunity. Looking at the forwards again. Do they want to play the territory game here? They're going to have a run. There's a player down. Wide they go. Beautifully floated pass out there. McGrath is on the move. Rory McGrath gets tackled. He's got support with him. So important. Tack gets that ball up to a waiting runner. Fortuna. To the ground. Tack again. Clyde Lambert. Derby distributes across the midfield. Ball down and into the hands of Ronan O'Sullivan. The Friars continue with their big runs here, trying to will themselves to the defense. Tack takes one little move. And work the ball back towards the strong side. Charles Tressler. In and over they come. Referee.
Game for that. We're going to go back to the scrum advantage, dealing with you on the field. Time is off.
Referee is whistling time off here.
Yeah, it looks like there was a slight head injury in that play, and as the player was returning to that side where the injury was, the referee had no choice but to blow it up. But much better from Providence. You can just see now they've got so much more dynamic movement in their carries. That's then forcing the Holy Cross defense to not have the line speed. Is that the 100 pizzas you were talking about?
That's part of the 100 pizzas. Broadcast booth be happy for one.
Looks like there's a fair few left, so pepperoni here, please, would be nice. But just bringing it back to Providence, excellent play. They're just really starting to have that dynamism in attack, and that's putting Holy Cross under a lot of pressure.
Here's referee Tancredi just taking his time, making sure this player is okay. This interesting game continues to go. We take a look.
Yeah, just in a tackle there. Looks like a slight high tackle, and just as he's coming around to make the second tackle, oh, there's a clash of heads there. That is not overly pretty. It's a physical game, so rightly so that he's going to get the time looked at and hope he's okay, but the medical staff are right on hand to make sure he's in the best possible hands.
Dylan Lynch, he's had a wonderful game. Dylan Lynch, a Fordham prep player out of New York, of course.
And he's been very, very handy at number 9. So as this game goes into that last quarter, in these tight moments, it's all about how much does the bench, or the finishers is a modern phrase in rugby, how can they impact the game? Do they add value, or does it become a little bit more disjointed? And that is the challenge. And the stronger teams tend to have more depth, who can come on and really finish the game strong, as opposed to just making replacements because bodies are tired. It's a real critical nuance, that.
Going to be a scrum here. Danny Tackle put it in. It's going to be the reserve player, Chad McDonald, at 21. Chad McDonald will step in here.
You guys would scare me.
Wreck of humanity. I don't want to hear it.
It's great to see a lot of New England talent on these teams, John.
You can certainly see these, with the different schools. Boston College High School, Danny Tack here played at Fairfield Prep.
Yeah, Kevin Carey's doing some excellent things there at Fairfield.
There are about 4 prep players on these Fairfield Prep players in these rosters. We also have, Xavier, Don Bosco, Boston College High School, Darien High School, the Varian brothers. The list could go on. Great high school rugby feeding these 2 programs.
Set.
This Tack, a Fairfield, Connecticut native, gets ready to start us underway again. Ball to Derby, another Fairfield Prep player. State champion of Fairfield Prep, actually, as they drive their way forward again, do the Friars. Cox held in there. Tackle is opposite number. They come back in the other direction. Friars just looking at this power game right now. Little shift. Ball goes to the ground. That's Graham Richmond. Minahane. Tack. A little bit of tight space on the field here. Runners come in behind. Short pass there from Derby. And come back to a penalty for a high tackle. They're going to go quick. It's going to be Kirkland. Kirkland is going to find some space. Kirkland is on the run. Kirkland has a couple of feet. Can't get by. Espinal has to get out of the way there. Danny Tack, quick ball. Which direction are they going to go? They have runners out wide if they can get it there. Get the ball to Reinhardt. Reinhardt tries to step a couple. Defense, great work by Holy Cross to shuffle across there. Is this going to be taken away? Referee whistles penalty against the Friars. Holy Cross, that just shuttle defense there getting out, did a wonderful job.
Kevin Kirkland, he has just got an eye for a hole. He can just make something out of nothing. It's just a tap penalty play, deep in his own half. And just look at that footwork to burst through and really make a big impact. But I tell you what, Holy Cross, they have got to be proud of their scramble defense, because for all money it looked like Providence were in here, but just look how they get back. But not only back, they're now square, so that just shows you the work rate off the ball. It's nothing flash, but that is game winning material and maybe league winning material. So great work there first of all from Kirkland, but well done to the Crusaders. That was an excellent defensive effort.
Territorial gain for the Crusaders. They come downfield. Dalton to put this one in. They have their 5-player lineout. 3 going to step in. Ball in, well taken by one of the impact players, Brendan Latz. Gets a ball to Tierney. Dalton calling for this ball. Dalton doesn't make the ground he normally does. Friars wising up to the challenge that he brings. Impact scrum half there. Chad McDonald tries for a couple of steps. They're going to go to the air. No confusion there for this Friars team. Ball in the hands of Ty Rogan. Rogan into contact. Providence College on the move. Little by little, that one hits the ground. They come a little wider. Ball's going to hit the deck again. Have to make these passes there. Rory McGrath on that one. Seemed to be knocked on in the effort. So scrum here for the Crusaders. Let's see what they make of this.
Just looking back at the replay here, you can see that they're trying to run it from, but you can see the defensive line here from Holy Cross. You can see how they're very connected, but there is a lot of space in behind. Should Providence be interested in that kicking game, because Holy Cross are putting a lot of pressure on, but they have got a lot of numbers in that front line. So it'd be interesting to see if they see that space from Providence to exploit the space in behind. With that being said, Holy Cross, they're back in their numbers, they get in the line speed, and they get in the turnovers.
Providence has not been looking to go to the air with the ball so much. Here comes Holy Cross, straight hard run. Bill Shuck takes that one in. There's the break from the reserve scrum half. He's come into the game. He said, was he going to make a difference? He's absolutely made a difference. Chad McDonald touches that one down. McDonald's entered the game and wasted no time. extending the lead for the Holy Cross Crusaders.
Yeah, exactly what we were saying about coming on and adding an impact. That is exactly what happened. Once again, it came from a really good starter play. So if we just look back at this, you can see that impact zone in the midfield right in here. And that's going to tie in the defenders. And it was just Chad there who just snuck around that outside. You can see that there's a hole just to that left-hand side. And he sees it. He's looking up. And then that allows him to scoot through that space with a nice bit of footwork. Wrong foots the defense. Great play. But it all came from that initial strong carry and then just reading the defense as he works around. That is a classic try from his front half.
Kick is no good there, but the lead is extended on a very cheeky move there from the scrum half. Move them up to 27. Kick to come here from the Friars.
Providence, it's really important now that they really try and find those different pockets to hold. They haven't necessarily been going through, and they certainly haven't been going around Holy Cross. So maybe the option is that kicking game, that spacing behind. They'll probably use that line speed that Holy Cross uses against them.
Tack back to Derby. They're inside their own half. They send the dummy runner in. Another pass doesn't quite go to hand. A little offload gets out to the wing, but as this player isolated, Ty Grogan takes to the ground. His help shows up. Ball to Tressler. Fortuna into contact. A little head of steam here for Holy Cross off of that try. They're certainly coming up hard on defense at the moment. Little wind in their sails with those extra points. 27-14. 13 minutes to go in this one. Tack finds the forward runners again.
This is where that little chip kick over, John, could be really important because they're not having that ability to go around them now. Great defense from Holy Cross.
And that's really just allowing this, Holy Cross defense to just man up if they don't think someone's going to kick in behind. Takes away one potential threat. Tack has to dig that one out. In behind they go. Kirkland looking for that space. You can see every time he gets the ball, I've said it a couple of times, those defenders start to swarm. Minahane tries to take the circuitous route on the outside, bounces off of one, gets the pass away. James Scanlon took that in. He's wearing number 24. Swarming defense again from the Crusaders. A little frustration here for this Friars team, unable to get the ball going. They're going to go for the kick this time. That's the space and back Craig was talking about, but it comes right down in the hands of this Crusaders team. It's Connor Long. Having to dig, players in the Friars, hands on the ball. Referee says it's going to come back to the Crusaders. First receiver there, John Cox. Out they go again. Chad McDonald, the recent try scorer, gets that one into the hands of Nicholas Murphy. McDonald again moves it out to the wing. Is there space? Can they make this work? Up in the hands of Flaherty. Impact front rower and kicker. Out they come again, Long. Long looking for runners. Comes in the middle of the field. Game just slowing down a bit here for a moment. McDonald gets that one up. Shuck. Capoche. Once again, lends his footwork in there to power through some defenders. Cox. They get to the 22. Looking a little wider this time. Players moving out, looking to shut this down. Eventually they do. Nicholas Murphy taken to the ground. McDonald gets it to Dalton. Dalton makes some ground. McDonald again, Flaherty. Little one to Cox. Cox, little pass off there, well done. Try zone beckons. Will Shuck hits it. Will Shuck scores a try, the senior economics major from Garrett Park, Maryland. 5 points on the board, and Holy Cross just pushes that lead.
Yeah, that was a masterclass there of controlling the phases. Some really great work, and that was the difference between when Providence had the ball. They were going sideways. They weren't really making any dents in the defense, but when Holy Cross got the ball, it was just nice little movements, and that was just an initial little tip pass, then initially to Cox, and then it was on a one little more pass to Shuck, who's under the post. That was a very, very good team try. Great balance, and once again it was John Cox who was involved in that play from hitting, and then that deft little pass to a center partner who sticks it under the post.
Those key players just know when to rise to the occasion. What certainly happens there, James Flaherty to put in the extras here. Providence rushes onto that one off that left boot. It's going to be no problem. 2 more points for the Crusaders. They extend their lead going into the very late stages of this game.
Just as we look back here, just watch this little tip pass just into the hole, and then it is another little pass, so no more than what we call a hip ball. So you're just passing off your hip. 2 passes, but that's where those little seams of space are, and then eventually they run out of defenders, and Will Shuck gets his time, gets his try under the post.
Now both these teams are going to play again next week. It's going to be home field advantage going into sort of a playoff. Nichols, seemingly the other team. Derby comes down with that ball off an errant restart. Ringland put that one up. So it was knocked on there by the Crusaders. It'll be a scrum here for the Providence Friars.
And there's nothing better, John. It's amazing that these two teams are going to play each other next week. More than likely, they're going to be heading up to Worcester for that game. And how brilliant is this, that they play a game, they've got great footage they can analyze, and next week's game is just going to be just as good, if not better, because both teams really know what's coming, and they can renew those rivalries. It's just so exciting for collegiate rugby.
Yeah, it's a 20-point game right now, but a very, very tight patches here. Both these teams will know each other very well by next week. 7.5 minutes to go. Referee Tancredi bringing the scrums together again. Danny Tack gets us underway. Big break up the middle there for the Friars. Time running down. There's going to be another try. Well worked. Rory McGrath touches that one down. Rory McGrath, the first-year player out of Fordham Prep from Harrison, New York. Great try, great running line. Good work, Friars. They've got a couple more points on the board. It gets interesting again.
I think Rory McGrath must have heard my commentary there about it going up to Worcester. He's got other things in his mind. A nice little starter play. The ball was held up really well there from Timothy Ronan, number 12. And he just put, similar to what we just saw earlier, and then he just puts Rory McGrath into that hole. There's a 7 points. That's certainly made a game of it now. And that was a brilliant starter play. So what I've kind of found in these two games, in this match, I should say, is that Providence have controlled the set piece, Holy Cross have controlled the phase play. Really interesting dynamics there.
Players coming back on according to the referee. Time starting to wind down here. They have a ball. You saw Dylan Lynch, not going to be returning to the game. Wish the best for him. Wonderful competitor, enjoyable to watch. Providence score a try, make things interesting late in the game. About 6 minutes to go. And wisely, they go deep with the kick. Nearly bobbled, but they get a hold of that one. Straight through they go. Max Vanderslice, another Fairfield Prep player in the game at that initial run. Minahan, the captain, makes this one. Charles Tressler has carried an awful lot this game. Derby gets the ball back in hand. Is there going to be a little wrap around the try scorer? McGrath gets through. McGrath at 74.5 minutes. He's trying to take hold of this game. Kirkland takes that one in. Danny Tack. Back there to Derby. Derby offloads it. Ball there to James Scanlon. Did that get knocked forward? Yes, it did. A little hard luck there for the Friars, just trying to push it a little too much. 34-21, just under 5 minutes to go. Scrum to the Holy Cross Crusaders.
Yeah, Providence haven't had too much love in when the phase count goes above 5 or 6, John. It looks like they're running out of ideas. Their shape is starting to deteriorate. That's maybe on reflection when they go back and look at the video. Where can we find opportunities to break down this Holy Cross defense, which is very good. They put a lot of pressure on. They try and get skill set errors from their line speed, but there's always space on the rugby field, and it's the challenge now for Providence to find where that is. Personally, I think it's just in behind, in that space.
Agreed.
Sometimes you can use line speed against them, but that's easier said than done when you've got all this pressure coming at you. And that's why this is a fascinating proposition for 7 days or 8 days' time.
Scrum here comes in for the Holy Cross Crusaders. Chad McDonald gets it away. They put a pass in behind. Space opens up in the middle there. Right through goes Brogioli. He's got a couple of defenders on him. Trying to home up for Providence, but not going to happen. Come back across. McDonald. It's to Max Reinhardt. Little space there, but not going to be able to work their way through it. Across the field they come. Flaherty into contact. Chad McDonald. Cox. Coming wide. Good work. Looking for the try-zone. Finding the try-zone. Luis Espinal answers the Providence try and pushing it a bit out of range, it looks like, would be Luis Espinal, the Classics major. Touches down for 5. Holy Cross looking strong.
Yeah, we were talking about Providence struggling after 5 phases. It seems when Holy Cross, when their phase count goes high, you can just see those numbers here for Holy Cross. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and they're going against 2 defenders, okay? And then no wonder that they get that overlap and they score that try. So great running line to hold the defense. Then it's that catch and pass with the layered attack. Beautiful work, and that's just shape in action, having people in a position where they can be effective and then really score those tries.
Espinal from All Hallows High School. Kick to come here from Flaherty. Bit of a tough angle. Flaherty taking as much time as he can. Referee looking at his watch. He's good with that one. Tough angle right over for Flaherty. See him.
That has been one of the great changes when Flaherty came on for kicking. I think he's only missed 1 out of 5 so far, and that is significant with his scoreline. Great work.
We're back to a 20-pointer here. 2 minutes on the game clock. Referee seemed to say that to the players as well. Just about 2 minutes to go. Looks like it will be a Holy Cross victory on Friday Night Rugby. National Collegiate Rugby bringing you all of this fantastic action. Ball to the ground. Holy Cross Crusaders. Flaherty. Still making some ground. A little pass to the outside there. Reserve in. Patrick McCann goes to the ground. Big drive through from the Friars. The kick comes wisely so. Under a minute to go. Providence shows the kick. Goes for it, does Kirkland. Ball up to Graham Richmond. Ball back to Derby. Derby deep in his own end. Goes for a long kick there.
Nice game management there from Holy Cross. I liked what he did. That big long kick from Connor Long put him under pressure. And I'll tell you what, that is just really strong game management.
Certainly good work. They have put him under pressure. And Next Level Rugby will be bringing you more Friday night rugby action next week. Vermont versus Norwich. An all Vermont battle there. And then the Atlantic Rugby Championships on Friday, November 7th.
Yeah, there's been some great footage here from Next Level Rugby, particularly with the graphics, bringing the game to life. And look at this man bringing
There's
it to
a big
life.
break. He's decided to get involved, Rory McGrath. Players in and over there. Good work by Holy Cross. Is there going to be a penalty? Yes, there will. We're in the red. We'll see what kind of time is left. Holy Cross asking for the ball. We're in referee's time now. He's nodded his head. So this may be the end of this one. Penalty is taken there. Connor Long is going to push that one into touch. Friday Night Rugby, big matchup in Division 3 in the Northeast. Providence is going to fall to Holy Cross 41-21. Craig, just a battle of some differences there.
Yeah, great game from both teams, but Holy Cross deserved winners. They had a great day.
So we're going to talk about this game. It did seem to be a battle of, like you said, set piece a little more there from Providence, and Holy Cross just a bit more controlling the phase play. So credit to Holy Cross for keeping that moving.
Yeah, really just good game management, particularly in that second half from Holy Cross. One thing coaches look for is entries into the 22, and then from there, what is your efficacy? And I tell you what, Holy Cross, when they did get into the 22, they often came out with points, and that is significant play. As you can see them cheering away. Holy Cross certainly dominated the phases. Providence dominated the set piece.
Players just shaking hands here. They'll play again next week. So they know each other well. Looks like that game is going to be in Worcester, Massachusetts at the College of the Holy Cross. Players just enjoying each other after the game. Well done. So that is a Holy Cross win for the teams, both Holy Cross and the Providence College Friars. It's been a wonderful matchup. We thank the players, coaches, and staff of both of these teams. National Collegiate Rugby, everybody that worked so hard to make this happen. For everybody at Next Level Rugby, we got Mike Baker, we got Ryan, the man with the rugby plan, Ginty. For Craig, the contact coach, Wilson, I am John Broker. We hope you've enjoyed this wonderful matchup.
I won't make it easy for you now. You got 2 minutes of my time, and I don't really break too easily, but I'm worth it, 'cause I'll slip into your dreams tonight. Oh, so give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Oh, so give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind.
Just watch me.